Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Mari Dangerfield and I'm a composer, producer and songwriter based in London in the United Kingdom. This is my first video where I'm actually showing my face, and it's probably just about time because I haven't done that yet and it's about time I had a bit more of a presence. So today I'm going to talk about my instruments. So I'm obviously not going to mention every single instrument I own because that would be slightly boring. But I am going to mention the most interesting ones. So first, it's probably important to mention why I decided to make this video. I thought it would be useful because as a composer, your instruments tend to be quite a crucial thing to kind of build up your sound palette. And although things can vary between projects, it's quite a crucial thing to have a variety of instruments at hand to play with and make exciting things with. And an instrument itself can often be a whole new source of inspiration. The first set of instruments I'm going to show you are my shakers. They have a very interesting design on, a little bird, this one. These two are slightly smaller, they came with them. They have a very nice sort of clicky sound. This one's more kind of hollow, this one's kind of more full. This one's sort of, you have to spin it like that. They've all got their very own sort of sound, very unique sound. These were brought to me by my uncle from Brazil, so they're quite special, really. And I've yet to use them for something major, but I'm sure that they'll come in handy somewhere. My next instrument is my stylophone. Now, I'm sure a few people own one of these. Basically, it's like a mini organ sort of thing, run on batteries, and you play it, it's like a little keyboard. You play it along here. That's one of the sounds it makes. You can change the vibration level, so you can put it so it has more vibration going on there. And you can also change the pitch. So if I put that no vibrato again. As you can see there, that's quite cool. I plan to use this for one of my more electronic-y song tracks. Because you can connect it here as well into your MP3 as well, your iPod or whatever, and you can also put some headphones on while you're using it in case it annoys anyone. Okay, my next instrument is my Ocarina. I found this in a music museum in Spain. It's quite an unusual instrument. I'm not altogether sure how to play it, but I know it works with some few holes that it has on the top and on the back as well. And it's made of ceramic, it's quite nice. I think it's sort of... But you know, even though I can't play it too well, it's great, like I can sample it and then I can change the pitches that way. So yeah, I should find something useful for this at some point. My next instrument that I also found actually at the same museum in Spain are these lovely panpipes. Now these are kind of different to the ones I'm used to playing. I actually learned how to play the Andean panpipes, two kinds of Andean panpipes, and a slightly different sort of sound and feel to them, to these ones, but the technique is essentially the same. You just have to have a kind of dipped upper lip, dipped lower lip and pursed upper lip, and blow quite hard, like that. It takes time to develop the technique actually, but I think if you're a flautist, I'm not a flautist, but I think probably you have a slight upper hand there. These ones don't really work very well, these upper ones here, but these middle ones aren't too bad. And for me this is slightly weird because the Andean ones, you have to play them in pairs, so there's usually one that has one or two more little flutes to it, and then you kind of exchange a note pattern. But this one's all on its own, so I don't really know how it would work. But nonetheless, it makes a nice sound, and because I don't own any Andean panpipes, it's a very lovely reminder for me, and something I can just come to now and again. And who knows if I'll use them at some point as well. I hope so. My next instrument is quite weird. I don't know if many people have seen it before. This is a jaw harp, and how you play it is you put your hand on this part, you open your mouth, stick it in like that, and the shape of your mouth determines the sound that comes out. It becomes like the sound box, like you know violins and cellos have a sound box that determines the resonance. It becomes a sort of sound box for that. I think this could be quite a good instrument to use for comedy sort of films or something like that. I don't know, perhaps there'll be something else it will be handy for. I've never tried sampling it and playing with it, but maybe there could be something interesting to make out of that. But anyway, that is my jaw harp. The next instrument I'm going to show you are my wood blocks. Very lovely percussion instrument. You just play them like this. Or you can scrape them as well. Very handy. I used these for two of my pieces that I wrote. I wrote two pieces that sort of jazz samba fusion style pieces. They both had wood block parts, and I played them when I played them live in two concerts in a couple of years across my time at university. Yeah, and they make a very lovely sound. I sort of had this sort of pattern going on. Because as you can hear, the longer one has a slightly lower pitch to the shorter one. So yeah, it makes a nice effect. That sort of thing. Okay, so that's my wood block. Whoops, wood blocks. Next instrument is my singing bowl. Now, weirdly enough, this isn't really what people would consider an instrument in the context in which it's normally used. It's normally used for sort of sound healing, meditation, or kind of in Eastern sort of contexts. Not so much for music, but it's still a very, very unique and lovely instrument, and I have used it. I sampled it once for sound design, and I just reversed the sound, and it made a lovely sort of effect, which is really cool. So this is how you play it. You hit the side, and you sort of circle it like that to keep the sound going, which is really, really good. It's very difficult to sort of say what the pitch is of this instrument because it has so many overtones. I sort of try and say it's kind of near G, but not quite. I don't know. It's got many sort of overtones to it, but it's got such a lovely sort of resonance, and it helps to calm things down as well sometimes. That's why it's used for sound healing. So that is my singing bowl. The next instrument I'm going to show you is my harmonica. This is my harmonica. It is a C harmonica. It is a very basic one that I got a couple of years ago, Christmas. So it's quite just a sort of novelty gift sort of thing. I can't really play much on it, but I do know how it works. Essentially, you've got 10 little holes here. When you blow outwards, you get one set of notes. When you suck inwards, you get another set, and you sort of alternate between blowing out and sucking in to get the different notes. And you sort of have to kind of make a little tremor in your throat to get the vibrato. yeah, I'm not really an expert, and actually I get a bit sort of tight when I play it too much, so I don't do it that often, but it is a lovely sounding instrument anyway. Okay, that's the harmonica. My next instrument, well, it's not really an instrument, but it is still quite an important tool that people use in music, and yeah, I might find myself using, I suppose, from every now and then if I want a reminder. This is a tuning fork, and what a tuning fork does is that often, well not often, but occasionally a conductor or maybe a piano tuner maybe, or anyone who needs to get an accurate representation of a pitch will use a tuning fork to get that pitch, and the way that you do it is you strike the table, you put it to your ear. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I'll put it near the mic. Hope that sounded. This is an A tuning fork, so as you can see it says A440 there. Yeah, I remember my choir master at school used one all the time because we did a lot of a cappella singing. So when you don't have a piano or guitar or something to accompany you, it's really important to have something to keep you in tune. So he used that. He used to always strike it and put it to his ear so he could tell. So yeah, that's a tuning fork. My next instrument is my kazoo. I think I got this at a toy shop probably a few years ago, and I've still never really found a use for it. But it's sort of a very interesting instrument because you kind of have to use your entire voice to produce a sound with it, and you sort of have to make a mock instrumenty sound, if that makes sense. So like if you don't have the kazoo, you'd probably go ooh 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 if you wanted to get those notes in that sound as if you're playing like a flute or something, and then you do it here. It sort of takes the sound and it muffles it into this little cubey thing here. It makes quite a comedic effect, just like the jaw harp, quite a comedic sort of sound. Yeah, so I hope I'll find a use for this at some point as well. So that is a kazoo. My next couple of instruments, I've put them together because they're kind of similar in terms of their family and everything, are my recorder and my Irish whistle. Recorder, I don't really play too well, but I can work it out if given time. Ooh, played it too hard there. It has all these sort of holes across the front and one at the back as well. And you sort of, it works by the airflow through the instrument. The more air that you have flowing through the front, the higher the pitch. This tires me out, but anyway, yeah, that's how you play it. And this one's not at all dissimilar, although it only has about 6 holes at the front as well, and it's got a slightly different tone. And then you do many different fingerings to get the other pitches. That sounded a bit crazy, but yeah. So that is my Irish whistle and my recorder. Now, I would have loved to have shown you a didgeridoo, because I can play a didgeridoo, but I don't have one. So that's a shame. But yes, the didgeridoo is a great instrument, and it's very, very difficult because you have to learn circular breathing to do it, and that's quite difficult to get the hang of. But yeah, it's really worth learning, and it's a really funky sound. Okay, Oh, almost forgot. My last instrument is I've forgotten what this is called, but I just call it a slider. Again, I found this randomly somewhere in Spain in a shop. That's why it says Malaga. Just found it in a shop in Malaga, and it's just a sort of comedic sort of sounding instrument. You just do this. So it can be used for, say, sort of going down and going up. It's used in those kids' cartoons, you know, for the incidents, I don't know, where maybe they're going up in a lift or something, or they fall down and bang their head or something like that. You know, those sort of situations. And it's really fun. And I thought, why not? Because I might find this useful one day. Just like with most of these instruments here, I thought pretty much the same thing. But yeah, we'll see. So I hope you've enjoyed this video about my instruments. If you'd like to find out anything more about me, please head to my website, maridangerfield.com, or yeah, comment below. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I'm planning many more videos in future. They're going to be mainly covers. I'm planning one of my new piano arrangements I've just made. I'm planning to put that up, hopefully in the not too distant future, and also another exciting cover that I don't want to reveal too much about yet. But yeah, anyway, have a lovely day and thanks for watching.